Got it. Yes, got it.
Islam. I am Brother R. Bey, all rights reserved. And I'm here with my magnificent bros for this impromptu improv. Happy Holy Venus degree to all the Moors out there. Peace and love. And I'm with my magnificent bros again.
Yay. Namaste. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at Northwest of Maxim. How are you? Man, I'm ready to get started, bro. Go do your thing. Let me run and grab something real quick. Do your thing, bro.
Okay, yeah. Today, it's impromptu improv. So we just, since we deal with so many subjects, we just picking a piece from here, a piece from here, a piece from here, just things that are pertinent that we just feel like, should be brought to the people. But I know you guys see the title. Are Moors knowing scholars, right, who deal with knowledge, or are Moors crybaby believers who deal with emotions and belief?
I want to write in all lowercase letters and follow some judge.
Yo.
We have a consulate.
Writing in all lowercase letters is like letting your child dress themselves, like they don't know what they're doing.
I want to have somebody wear a piece of metal on their chest with a bulletproof vest and be able to carry a Glock 40 with 17 shots in it.
Is it bravery or is it incompetence?
It's so funny because I am going to get used to the fact that us telling the truth and pointing it out to the people and it fucks with their beliefs. It's like, hey, you know what? Cognitive dissonance, I don't think it fits you. But hey, if you wanna, put on some clothes from that's like you wanting to fit in a 6-month-old onesie. That's what cognitive dissonance on a grown body looks like. Cognitive dissonance in a grown mind looks like someone who wants to basically be in a 6-month-old's onesie. I want to be in a 6-month-old's onesie. Like, that's just kind of like how it is, bro. That's kind of like how I see it. Let me share this out to a couple of Telegram groups, bro. Like, this is going to be freaking hilarious because I'm really ready to share. Because, a lot of people are really sensitive out there. And I'm gonna say it first and foremost, right? I can only speak for myself. My bros are my bros. I don't give a fuck about you guys being sensitive about it. Most sensitive Moors that are crybabies, they're like, which to me, they're not Moors. But since they're crybabies and they're coming into the knowledge, I guess, the new Moors, the young Moors, they pop, they're on it. But you got some people that are much older, not even that much older than us. Some are actually within our own generation, actually. And they are, just they just cry, bro. And ooh, you Moors are so combative and you Moors are so mean and angry. And it's like, look, first of all, we're going to continue telling the truth, but just to give out a little bit on that, just on what my bro's saying, that's what I have to say to it. I think it's hilarious. That's it. I yield. I think it's hilarious.
It is pretty funny. So after we go over the Moorish American invocation, as well as the first letter to be read and the second letter to be read at all meetings, I'm going to go over a short excerpt from this book right here. You can get on rvbaypublications.com. All right. And this is addressing misunderstandings of purpose concerning Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, Noble Drew Ali, the Moorish Divine and National Movement. It also says excerpts from Solar Return Celebration Address, January 1984 by Taj Tariq Bey, with editorial ancillaries, including from earlier and later Moore's Order of the Round Table, orientation, law, history, culture, and classes. So again, we're just going to do a short excerpt here, and that will take us probably straight into the Black Codes, right? Since the Black Codes is around 1700s, and the Horace Greeley portion we're going to go over is more towards the 1800s, right? So we'll just keep it in order of timeline, right? So
yeah, I still got to look up the Black Codes. We'll probably just do a search on RV Bay Public. I'll just do a Google search. I'm like, let's see. Christian Black Code 1724 RV Bay. That's what I'll just type and see what actually pops up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're not about to read the whole thing. We're just going to go over some key points real quick, just so people even know it exists. A lot of people don't even know that these documents exist. So let's just bring it to the forefront, bring it to the table as a discussion, you know, for all those who want to actually grow, right, and free themselves from mental slavery without being crybabies, of course.
Crybaby believers, actually.
Right.
I believe this way, and I feel we should agree to disagree. You don't agree to disagree with truth. You either are telling the truth, or you're a fucking liar that wants to be stuck in belief, just taking up space in different Moorish American groups through different social media apps, and you want to whine about it, and you want to point that, oh, Hassan's mean. Get the fuck over yourselves. This is not for crybaby believers. You declare and proclaim your nationality, you got to be serious.
Islam.
That's no gang shit either. So don't bring none of that. I'm telling you, we're going to just tell you straight up what it is. No, you're wrong. Oh, how are you going to tell us that? We don't deal with beliefs. We're astrosovicians. We deal with astrology and civics. You don't even know how to solve your economic issues, and yet you're sitting here trying to tell people about what magic, what tarot you can do. You're an idiot. Yeah. You haven't healed from your abuse, from your mothers, your fathers, your ex-consorts, and we can see it clearly. Oh, we can see it clearly, but you'll get over it someday. Who knows when? But don't try to make Seven Hill Star, or at least Brother Hasan. Don't try to make Brother Hasan to be your next Jesus that you want to nail the two pieces of wood and put a crown of thorns on. Stop it. That has a dual-edged sword, meaning that can actually bring you up out of that muck and mire thinking that you keep subjecting yourself to. You know, I don't like the way he says it. Well, why don't you go and beat your fucking sensitive ass ears and thinking? Because that's what's making you feel that way. You have sensitive ears and a sensitive thought process. Because when truth hits your ears, you should be like, yay! Oh my God, it's so true. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm so excited. But no. You know what you guys do? You play victim. Like a good little black-minded individual who slowly but surely coming into the truth pertaining to their nationality and birthrights. So not like it. Cool. I'm not here for your liking. I don't want to date you anyway. All right.
I think one of the greatest forms of diversion is exactly what you just said, where they say, you know, they try to do it passively, like, oh, you know, well, we can just agree to disagree. Like, well, no, we're not agreeing to disagree. You're admitting for the record that you're gonna stay stuck in belief, and I'm of the position that I'm dealing with this truth still. And the fact that we should
be chopping their fucking heads off. But go ahead, I yield.
Yeah, the fact that you know, sometimes the people feel like they want to get into that realm of a conversation with you until you start coming with facts, documentation, and literature and stuff like that.
Like we always do.
They realize they're not equipped for that type of conversation, and that's where they try to bow out and say, well, we could just agree to disagree. No, again, you just admit for the record that you're gonna stay stuck in belief. You don't want to look at these documents. You don't want to look at this literature. You don't want to look at these facts. You don't want to look at these historical events, this jurisprudence. You don't want to study this. You don't want to take your time to get into this and really comprehend what's going on. You don't want to come out of the cognitive dissonance. You want to stay in that comfortable bubble you're in, where you live an imaginary life, right? Adopted with someone else's adopted mindset, state of mind. But we're here to dispel all that.
Islam. So, all right, bringing up the Moorish American prayer, right? Prophet Noble Ali standing due guard, standing handsomely in his abba, looking like the Sufi master that I think he is, right? And let us just clearly zoom in here on the Moorish American prayer within the Moorish Holy Temple of Science administrative functions. And I'm going to yield the floor to my beloved brother, whom I will please, after we all extend 5 appendages on the left hand, the index in the middle on the right. We're going to stand and have our feet just like Prophet Noble Ali's on a 45-degree angle, standing firmly on our square facing east, which is symbolic, metaphysically speaking, to going within. And I yield the floor to my beloved brother, whom I will please, Brother R.I.P. Bey.
Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
and justice.
and justice.
Allah is my protector,
Allah is my protector,
my guide,
my guide,
and my salvation.
and my salvation.
By night
By night
and by day.
and by day.
Through his holy prophet,
Through his holy prophet,
noble Drew Ali.
noble Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen. Go in here and put my pins and badges on too, man. I got them right in the front of me. However, I know I'm doing the first letter to be read in every meeting, so let me doeth thateth. All righty. The following is a letter by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. All righty. Moorish Science Temple of America, right? After being a civic organization, only did by religious affidavit. We adopted a religious affidavit just for the sake of protecting our birthright. All right. But it's a lot of people out there that, and they call us temple Moors because we're just telling the truth. They never seen us enter a temple. However, we know we're at the temple pertaining to the moon and sun because the whole planet is your temple, actually. However, a lot of people, they still deal with beliefs, and we're dealing with knowledge. So we don't care about what you believe. I'm not going to be sensitive to it. I'm not going to violate your first Bill of Rights. However, I repeat, will not allow myself to be insecure in my person's houses, papers, and effects by allowing your foolish belief nonsense to enter into my mind. However, Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue, Noble Drew Ali, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18, 1929, to be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother, Islam, I'm glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me in a movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all, not some, not just 11, all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, They are working every scheme. Who are those days? I wonder who those days that are working those schemes. Are they like in the middle of 95 North holding flags, going camping? When Prophet Noble Drew Ali said we don't walk around with as much as a penknife. Are they the ones wearing, bulletproof vests with shiny pieces of metal and Glock 40s on their hip, 9mm, trying to help someone in the traffic stop, and they get pinned to a guardrail? I mean, come on, this is who you guys are following. Are you going to pay attention to the prophet now? Now that all your savior guys are gone, all your leader guys? No, you still want to be a believer, a crybaby believer. They're working every scheme that they can to disqualify me. That's Prophet Noble Drew Ali. All righty? Not me, not Brother Hasan, me. Talking about Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors, hey, yay us, that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered, because those that were with Prophet Noble Drew Ali 2,000 years ago are with them today. And those that are against Prophet Noble Drew Ali 2,000 years ago are against them today. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. And you guys can go cry to Brother Taj and Dr. Nail, they say this. And I'm pretty sure Brother Taj is going to be like, well, are you studying? Don't cry. I'm telling you guys, this is that great and awful day that's yet to come. However, we're actually the kind side pertaining to that. There's your beliefs and crybabyisms is going to be your downfall. It's going to be casualties of war, right? And that is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nations. And nations come from mothers. So to you mothers, if you don't get it, get over your half red-faced or whole red-faced, maybe your tooth is hanging out of your gum line a certain way. Cool. Get over all of that over yourselves. Get over the fact your mother abused you, your father abused you. You tried to throw yourself at men, or brother, you tried to throw yourself at women. Get over that. All righty. Time to get over that. Stop crying wolf or rape or whatever it is you do out there. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility, quote unquote, period. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali. And I yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Brother R. Bey, Islam.
Islam, divine warning by the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any members or group of members hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people of their sinful ways, by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Islam. So I guess I should go right now to what you said you're going to read out of the misunderstandings pertaining to the Moorish, or misunderstanding Moorish movement, right? And you can show them the cover again if you like, bro, because I didn't take a picture of the cover. I know you said pages 25 and 26 is where we're reading. May say something, tell them, look, take a look, so it can cue you.
Yeah, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Here's the cover. It's kind of going in and out because of my background, but let me see. Y'all see it now, right? All right. You can get this on rvbaypublications.com. It's addressing misunderstandings of purpose concerning Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, Noble Drew Ali, the Moorish Divine National Movement, right? So just real quick, I wanted to read this to all the this is for like the newly awakened Moors, right? Not the,
or those Moors that have been duped by Diglett looking consulate. I got a consulate. I do this. I'm gonna follow this Richie Judge kind of character. Stop it. Please stop it. Go and meet Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature. Stop being a crybaby believer. Stop looking for someone to follow and free your own mind. Save yourself and be a self-savior. I yield, bro. Islam.
They what I'm seeing, my observation is that some Moors are actually trying to mimic the way the Europeans, the way that they're occupying the people's minds and land. They're trying to kind of like mimic that, like, oh, well, he's, they look at them like they're free, even though we know that a lot of the Europeans are actually dealing with some of the same problems that everyone is dealing with at the North Gate, because the system is set up a certain way where, you're not excluded if you're not a Moor. You know what I mean? You're there's no one excluded except for those who are actually puppeteering the agenda, so to speak, right? So I see them thinking like, oh, well, they got their police, so maybe that's what makes them free. Well, let's dress up like police and police ourselves, or oh, they have this court or whatever. It's like they look official, so let's start a consular court. Let's start I don't think it's a consular court, it's actually a consulate, right?
Right, because a real consular court is you just knowing how to defend yourself having your own thinking. You don't need a building, you don't need a group, you don't need special anything. You comprehend principle and you know how to keep yourself from under the thumb of the oppressor, period. That's what consular court is all about, because you are the court, period. You're the judge, especially if you comprehend being mufti. I yield.
Indeed. So, so a lot of new Moors, I don't want to say new Moors, but newly awakened Moors, they seek
of many ages.
Many ages, right? They could be 60. You know, they could be squeaky clean and all of that. What I'm seeing is like they come in, and because they want to meet somebody who's been in the movement before them that they could learn from, they'll go up under anybody's wing, not being tuned to the fact that, you know, there's agents out here, there's dirty Moors out here, there's opportunists and all that. So let's just read this passage real quick and then get into these black codes.
Yeah, because we're gonna keep it short, guys. My bro has stuff to do. We got loved ones to spend time with.
The newly awakened Moors, right? So that bottom section of that, what you can see on the screen. Many newly awakened Moors and some already conscious Moors may, from time to time, inadvertently find themselves placed amongst unwelcoming, exploitive, opportunistic, or cliquish Moors. Keep in mind the negative conditions and dead culture of servitude, mental slavery, from which we all have come, who have suffered under European colonial psychological engineering and suppression. These untoward and discomforting acts are not the norm of true Science Temple culture. There are some uncultured Moors who have not applied some of the ethical principles taught by Noble Drew Ali. They have carried with them or brought the old black codes, practices from their servitude indoctrinations into the Moorish movement with them. Some have not yet purged themselves of those behaviors. Be aware that such acts or practices are not the true teachings or programs of the Moorish temples, as presented to the Moors by the Prophet. Unity, love, tolerance, and progress are primal aspects of the mission and are primal to the culture of the Moorish movement. This is why ethical instructions are included as part of instructions of the divine and national orientations, as they are often given in Sunday school commentaries. The above stated moral principles also apply to any of the Europeans who have come among the Moors. Some Europeans may oftentimes pretend not to know the true and massively illustrious invocations, connections, and influences made by the Moors, our forefathers, to the founding and initiating of the great Renaissance of Europe during the 14th, 15th, and 16th century. Noble Drew Ali mentions this era in his Message to America document. Study it for yourselves.
Jesus Christ! So this is what I'm going to do. What you want me to bring up next? Am I bringing up the Christian Black Codes of 1724 from the Forgotten Scrolls page on RBayPublications.com?
Yeah, let's just show people how to navigate that real quick.
Boom shakalaka, airdropping it to myself, and let's bring it on up, right? So there it is, right? I know I have it projected behind me. However, you go to the Forgotten Scrolls page on RBayPublications.com, where only real sincere Moors go without having an attitude about it, you know, or this weren't like this with me, they weren't that worth. Are you really? Let's see. Do we put the keys to the Ferrari in a 6-year-old's hands? I don't think so. However, boom. Christian Black Codes of 1720. Fizzo, right? There we go. Looky. Astro Cookie. Where would you like to go, bro?
Man, we're just going to go in from one and then just see what we see. Christian Black Codes of 1724, March 1724. Article 1 decrees the expulsion of the Jews from the colony. All right, so
we don't want no Moors here. That's what
there was
saying.
some beefing going on, right? 1700 beef.
Basically. Some 18th century nonsense. Let me stop, man.
18th century drama, right?
Basically.
Article 2, make it imperative on masters. Ooh, that's us. To impart religious instruction on their slaves. We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah. We got tired of, making, because the actual slave or Slavs is our Albion sons and daughters. And those of us that are, in these bodies now that are always with the prophet every lifetime, what we do is we actually always are making the corrections. Every time we come back in another body. That's why I think this time I actually volunteered. And my beloved mother, Mistress Consort, that I'm with now, I think she actually, whatever star system we're from, I'll just say it like that for right now. She's like, okay, you done? Yeah, I'm in this body this lifetime, but are you done playing down here on Earth and helping the people? Like, that's just really what it is. That's what me and my brothers do every lifetime.
Yeah.
Period. I yield.
Islam, we're here to help, right? Uplift on humanity.
At all times.
Keep in mind, this is 1724. The next thing we're going to get into is around 1800s. But look at number 3. Number 3 permits the exercise of the Roman Catholic creed only. Every other mode of worship is prohibited. Wait, hold on. Even the Moorish Zodiac Constitution? Like, what are you talking about? Every other... Man, if you don't stop it. Number 4.
They were codifying our Moorish Zodiac Constitution within there, because that's why when we go back to Veritas, we can see how, that triple cross, you know what I'm saying? We can see like, oh, that's a zodiacal instrument for measuring, the zodiac, you know what I mean? From 30 to 60 to 120 degrees, or 30, 60, and 180. If I can remember, however, we did a 14 video presentation. It's actually 13 videos, but the last one was a 2-parter. All right, we're doing the work and we're completing the work, even though, some people just wish it was them or wish it wasn't us. Look, get over yourselves. We're not here for popularity. This is not a popularity contest. We've been given instruction, not only for the bit of ignorance that may have existed, but that ignorance was only a remembering. Hey, now your consciousness is in this body, and now you have to do this. Oh, okay, now I remember. Now we remember. Now we're here doing improvement. So we're here for your improvement. Those that are wise, those that are ignorant, here's some instructions. All right. And that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's degree 26, minute 2 in the Cycle 7 Holy Koran, or what you call chapter 26, verse 2. You're welcome. And I yield, bro.
Islam. Article number 4. Negroes placed under the direction or supervision of any other person than a Catholic are liable to confiscation. Number 5, Article 5. Sundays and holidays are to be strictly observed. All Negroes found at work on these days are to be confiscated.
And technically, black denotes pale, and Negroes are actually originally the Albion, the slave, the Albion. Those that a lot of miseducated, quote unquote, or people that lack remembering their intellect, they would falsely call the Negro the black man and woman, or black mother and black son, the pale skin. They would call those beings white people, quote unquote. They're not. You're looking at white people because our status is the fact that we are actually the squeaky clean ones. Because white is purity. Purity is to call upon, because that's God. And when you're calling upon whatever, you're ruling the land, period. So get over yourselves. We don't care if you, see, that's their beliefs in the Moors, but we're not doing anything in belief here at all. Get over yourselves. Admit that you want to be a monkey mind. All righty. Admit that, and really learn some real history and law. So you can stop being mad at the angels that have come to assist you. Period. We're not going to sit here and kiss your ass because you, like Brother R say, you want us to put it as a little message on a piece of paper and blow it to you on a pillow. We're not going to whisper sweet nothings to you. We're going to assert the most pungent truth ever. The most
The truth is stern.
Somethings.
Truth is stern. It ain't soft. It's not like, you know, the Q-tips, you know, going into your ear. It's gonna hit you. It's gonna hit you right. You know what I mean? You're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel that vibration when that truth hits you. Article 6: we forbid our white subjects of both sexes to marry with the blacks under penalty of being fined and subjected to some other arbitrary punishment. That's so crazy that they call it an arbitrary punishment. They don't even give a fuck. Yeah, they don't even give a. They don't care.
Yeah, we're gonna punch you in the face, clip you, and drop you on your head. And you're next. You're the next one that was caught with one of these pale-skinned slaves. Okay, cool. Well, what we're gonna do to you? We're just let me think. We'll just chop your fingers off. Next, who's next?
Like, some arbitrary. We'll think of something arbitrary. We forbid all curates, priests, or missionaries of our secular or regular clergy, and even our chaplains in our Navy, to sanction such marriages. We also forbid all our white subjects, and even the manumitted or freeborn blacks, to live in a state of concubinage with slaves. Should there, like, we didn't deny you that. Should there be any issue from this kind of intercourse, it is our will that the person so offending and the master of the slave should pay each fine of 300 livres. Should said issue be the result of concubinage of the master, his slave, said master shall not only pay the fine, but be deprived of the slave and of the children. Who should, let me finish this before I ask my question, but who shall be adjudged to the hospital of the locality, and said slave shall be forever incapable of being set free, but shall this illicit intercourse have existed between a free black and his slave, when said slave, according to the forms prescribed by the church, said slave shall thereby set free, and the children shall become free and legitimate, and in such a case there shall be no application of the penalties mentioned in the present article. Oh, so I was gonna say, when you read this is before the Constitution. So, but when you read this, it's like it makes it easier to see that, like, the policies that are in place today, right? Like the state statutes of today, like, it makes it easier to see the human trafficking, to see the abuse that's going on with the color of state law. Like, it's not far-fetched to think now, you know, that they're human trafficking your children in the family courts or whatnot, right? The so-called family courts. Like, look what they were doing a couple decades before the Constitution. They were, you know, trying to regulate all type of stuff that, you know, they really basically regulating people's birthrights, you know. So I guess we can read like 2 or 3 more, and then we can get to
Horace Greeley.
Yeah, because you actually brought something up that is in there. I took a mental note of it, but it kind of slipped my mind.
Well, we'll see it.
Yeah, you said something that I was like, wow, that's funny, because that's actually in the next excerpt we're about to read. So Article 7, the ceremonies and forms prescribed by the ordinance of Blois and by the edict of 1691 for marriage shall be observed both with regard to free persons and slaves, but the consent of the father and the mother of the slave is not necessary. That of the master shall be the only one required, right?
Yeah, the only one required. Yes, a couple typographical errors, but you are definitely surfing the wave, bro. Do your thing.
Article Islam. Article 8, we forbid all curates to process or to effect marriages between slaves without the proof of the consent of their master. And we also forbid all masters to force their slaves into marriages against their wills.
This is why people go and look to have a so-called marriage ceremony with some master. I think they call the master now pastor. Oh, is with the powers invested in me by the state of blah, 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 blah. That y'all don't see that you guys are both two corporate entities now making a merger. That's why I said when we was in jurisprudence gym yesterday, I was like, it's interesting because the accent of, you know what I mean, my people's from near the Baltimore Corporation, they be like, yeah, I saw they had a beautiful merge, like, because they're saying marriage, but merge. You know, merge, like how people from near the Baltimore Corporation don't say Saturday, they'll be like Surdy. It's like it's kind of like that. So instead of saying marriage, they'll say merge. However, when hearing that to my ears, I hear MERGE, which is what it actually is. It is a corporate merge, and the state of is making it happen. And all you're doing is just exercising Christian Black codes. And you think you're grown and I'm being faithful to a woman, or I'm being faithful to this guy, and blah blah. You're idiots. You're crybaby believers. What'd you say, bro?
It's animal husbandry.
Say it one more time.
Matter of fact, pull up the definition of animal husbandry as a segue to the we're gonna get out of this. You guys check out this document on your own. It's quite I don't know if you want to scroll down real quick just to see like how many articles. It's quite a few. Actually,
let's
54.
It skips some though, because I think it goes from like 43, like 45, 46, 47, 48, 49 is all that one. You know what I mean? But anyway.
45, 46.
Yo.
49. It's skipped. It skipped 45, 46, 48. They're just skipping them on us.
Oh my God.
Yo, that shit's hilarious.
Yes, but that's what it is, man. That's exactly what
and they use the word master all through this document. And today, in your so-called judicial systems today, they talk about hearing masters. And they have like these titles, like instead of like, because they have like traffic commissioner or you know, pro tempore, judge pro tempore. Well, they got hearing master as one of the titles. And
wow.
You know, they'll use a hearing master for traffic matters, or, you know, to substitute it in a family court case or whatever. But they're not even like real, you know, judges. Obviously, there is no judges really, except for, you know, Mohammedan judges, right? However, it's just so funny how they're still using the word master to the point where when you think that you're purchasing a new home or whatever, really, when you get your little business opportunity that the realtors can sell you, that's all they can sell you is a business opportunity.
Correct.
You're gonna get you a house, and everybody knows, you know, the biggest room or whatever they call it, the master bedroom. So yeah, they're still throwing that word around when one is really supposed to master themselves at the end of the day, be the master of themselves. And that's the whole point of sharing this information. This information is liberating if one can grasp the principles embodied in the knowledge and be able to adopt that for themselves, right? Or remember.
Animal husbandry. This is when people think they got to go punch a clock and work for Federal Reserve notes, and that their life is going to be happy with the family, and don't even recognize that it's going to end in divorce. You're going to have a dysfunctional family because you're operating outside of the laws pertaining to nature. So that's what I know it is actually. However, let's just look up animal husbandry. There's the Wikipedia. There's another one down here that I saw that was kind of on my phone. Was it the botanical? Oh, Bajus. I thought that was pretty interesting, that Bajus one. Animal husbandry is a branch of agriculture where animals are reared, bred, and raised for meat, fiber, eggs, milk, and other food products. You guys don't recognize it because you think, no, I'm not an animal. I'm a human being. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm a grown-ass woman. And all this other stuff. And you're on the animal farm. It's complete animal farm. That's what it is. But I guess we can wiki it, so to speak. So let's go there. And I yield to you, bro. Unless you want me to read, I have no problem with reading.
Yeah, you could go ahead. I just wanted to say real quick, when you talk about the animal husbandry, like they call their babies kids. You know, those are goats. You know what I mean? And you guys feed them. Let's just not even get. We don't got that much time. Let's not even get it.
So you people are under the Department of Agriculture, whether you like it or not. Animal husbandry is the branch pertaining to agriculture concerned with animals that are raised for meat, fiber, milk, and other products. It includes day-to-day care, selective breeding, and the raising of livestock. Husbandry has a long history, starting with the Neolithic Revolution when animals were first domesticated. From around 13,000 BC. There was no Jesus then, huh? That's before Common Era or before Christ for some people. Onwards, which means it hasn't stopped. Predating farming of the first crops. By the time of early civilization, such in ancient Egypt, which is ancient mental bondage to sense consciousness, cattle, sheep, goats, and pigs, goat and a pig, were raised on farms. Were being raised, on farms. Major changes took place in the Columbian Exchange when old world, livestock, that old world has capital letters for the O and the W. Pay attention to that. Livestock were brought to the new world. Hold up. What the friggity frack was that? It looks like
what in the
I know, man. That's some truth being told there. And it's interesting because Wiki is very opinion based. And then in the British Agricultural Revolution pertaining to the 18th century, when livestock breeds like the Dishley. What, Dishley? Is that what it says? Dishley. Longhorn cattle and Lincoln long wool sheep were rapidly improved by agriculturalists. I wonder how they improved them. Sounds like experiments to me, such as Robert Bakewell. I guess he bakes well, right? Anyway, to yield more meat, milk, and wool. A wide range of other species, such as horse, human beings, water buffalo, llama, rabbit, and guinea pig, are used as livestock, which means they are not livestock. In some parts of the world, insect farming as well as agriculture of fish, mollusks, and crustaceans. Crustaceans, right?
Aquaculture.
Yeah, it absolutely is widespread. Modern animal husbandry relies on production systems adapted to the type of land available. Land is people too. Anyway, it's sentient beings, right? Subsistence farming is being superseded by intensive animal farming in the more developed parts of the world, where, for example, beef cattle are kept in high-density feedlots, and thousands of chickens may be raised in broiler houses or batteries. That shit says batteries. On poorer soil, such as the uplands, right? Animals are often kept more extensively and may be allowed to roam widely, foraging for themselves because it ain't too many of them. So, you got to be selective about eating on those animals. Most livestock are herbivores, which means why aren't you guys vegan? Anyway, except for pigs and chickens, which are omnivores. Ruminants, those that have 4 stomachs, ruminating animals, like cattle and sheep, are adapted to feed on grass. They can forage outdoors and may be fed entirely or in part on rations richer in energy and protein, such as pelleted cereals. Pigs and poultry cannot digest the cellulose in forage and require other high protein foods. Sounds like a bunch of experimentation to me.
Yeah, sounds like don't belong.
Yeah, I know, right? Etymology, the verb.
One mother's breast. If one mother's breast ain't giving you what you need, then something's going on.
Yeah, it's something really wrong. And then I'm gonna hurry up because I know we got about 13 minutes, guys, because we really timed this one. We're gonna be short with it, right?
Yeah.
The verb to husband means to manage carefully. And also husband also means to bind the house, house binding. Derived from the older meaning of husband, which in the 14th century referred to the ownership and care of a household or farm, but today means control or judicious use of resources. Look at that. They said judicious use. Oh my God. They just told you about a double stock trust, a joint stock trust, where you guys are being farmed by belligerent judicial beings. You're being used. You're being judiciously used for your resources. Matter of fact, you are the resource.
Yeah, that reminds me of like when Brother Todd says how, we've been dispensing this information for, 20 years or whatnot. I don't remember what year the video was when he said it, but he was like, for like 20 years. And now some of the people that we were giving this information to, their babies are grown now and in the workforce.
Man, that was the last class I think he did, man. That was 2 Fridays ago.
Yeah, he was like, these people's babies are grown now and now in the workforce, in servitude to Rome, got social securities and all these other instruments that they don't qualify for, pretending to be federal, state, or municipal agents, operating at the pleasure of the governor, performing functions of public office when they don't qualify at all.
Ever. And in agriculture, the cultivation pertaining to plants and animals, farmers and ranchers who raise livestock are considered to practice animal husbandry. So that's what you guys are really going under, right? So are you a being that is descended from the spirit? Because when you look up animal, right, anima in Latin is spirit. Anima is spirit, right? Breath. You see, anima, Latin, breath. That's why I said it's spirit. Animalis is having breath, right? So animal would obviously be something that has breath, right? The holy breath. Do you have that? Oh, I thought an animal was my dog. No. Your breath is being housebounded. It's being judiciously used as a resource. And you're out here wasting your breath on acting like you're a fucking Federal Reserve agent.
And ignoring the circle of animals.
What? Ignoring the zodiac, the zodiac, right? You want to read that one, brother? I know I'm going to add that. I'm going to go right to husband.
I was going to say, all right. Early 14th century, any sentient living creature, including humans, from Latin animale, living being which breathes. Noun, use of neuter of animals, adjective, quote, animate, living, of the air, end quote, from anima, quote, breath, soul, a current of air, end quote, from Proto-Indo, a Proto-Indo-European root, ani, right, quote, to breathe, end quote, for sense development, compare deer.
Jesus Christ. Look at this one. What?
Pertaining to the animal spirit of man. It's long.
Jesus Christ. Yo, we can't. We're never gonna look. Let me speak for myself. I would much rather you. I think I actually enjoy people being pissed off because we tell the truth. One thing's for sure and two things for certain. You'll never be able to say we lied to you. Which would only prove that you you love the way people lie.
You're finding a mate. You're doing a merger through the state. All your property, that has of any value, you're registering it, giving it to the state. Then you're having babies, but on paper they're listed as chattel. And then you already gave them up with the marriage certificate. And then these babies grow up. Well, before they even grow up, you get them instruments that tie them to the system. Then they grow up and go straight into work, pay their taxes, all that stuff, pay taxes on everything, which they're not really paying because you can't pay nothing with a Federal Reserve note. But they're just in that system now. That's animal husbandry. You're having babies and putting them in the workforce for the Romans. Like you're literally just continuing the cycle of bureaucratized slavery. That's animal husbandry.
And to briefly look at this, it looks like animal husbandry is having peasant farmer breath.
Management of a household, late 14th century, as farm management from husband in a now obsolete sense of peasant farmer. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, guys, look. At the end of the day, we're going to keep telling you the truth. We're not going to, oh, well, let's go along with the people and come down to the people level. No, this is your level. This has been your level. You sat there and adopted a mindset that's not your ancient foremothers and forefathers mindset. And because I assert my speech, you want to get mad, upset. Oh, and he played victim and say he's so combative, and or you know what I'm saying? I can fight. Okay, look, can you even fight your lower self and fucking read? Probably not. However, though, we're here to assist you with that. If you can, what's the word? Calm your stupidity down just a little bit, just a little bit. However, let's just play this real quick before we continue, right? Just very briefly, shout out to my beloved brother in whom I'm well pleased, because we heard Brother Taj speaking about Horace Greeley.
And you always, go over this in detail on the background. For those who don't have, Dr. Naila has a figure from the House of Great Waking Lines, and this is amongst other information. And plus, Hasan added tons of more stuff to keep you busy another 15 years.
Hasan added stuff to the drive that will have you basically busy for another 15 years. That's the Horace Greeley and Whittemore Party video, part 2, that Brother R found around, he says that around the 51 minute mark. However, you got to get over yourself. I did the work and I'm continuing to do the work. Stop being envious, stop being jealous, and see that we actually are giving you guys that what you need. Did we ask you to come into a Zoom for an hour, but first you got to give us 300 notes before we talk about your case? No. Did we ask you to come to this side of the East Coast, and then we're going to go on a camping trip, and hold that flag for me, though, in the middle of 95? No, we didn't do that to you. And we're not going to. We're all over the planet. It's a lot of people we assist freely. However, you already know, get your mirror astro literacy session done, because we do have products and service that you're going to exchange your eleemosynary tuition for. And I don't give a shit how you feel about it, respectfully. Because we're doing the work that most people can't do. Most people are Moorish Americans doing what they're doing out of jealousy. You're doing it out of spite to Brother Taj. You're doing it out of spite to Mother Ross Mariah. You're doing it out of spite to Mother Rashida. You're doing it out of spite to Brother Hannibal. This is what you guys are doing because you weren't the ones to have the knowledge and information and share. Get over yourselves, man. This stuff is supposed to been dispensed by people even before us, made manifest 1984 and later. But here we are sharing it with you, taking on the same bullshit the elders had to take on because you're a crybaby believer. Get over yourselves. All right. So now let's segue, bada bing, bada boomski, of course, to here. Let's go to Moorish American Institute, Circle of Mothers and Sons. Right. Go to the Horace Greeley page. And this is where we're going to end these last 4 minutes off. And we're going to do our invocation out. I will do it. But we're here on the Horace Greeley page. This is page 73 out of 77 pages, right, for Horace Greeley. And I'll yield the floor to you, my beloved brother. I'm pretty sure you want to come across that portion that you said made me I reminded you of something there.
On March 20, 1854, the Red Men Whigs Party held its national convention in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Here, Horace Greeley, a New York newspaper editor, suggested a new name for the Whigs Party and the members too, with but one cause in mind, an educational revolution. Horace Greeley recommended the name Republican Party for the Whigs Party, and for the Whigs members, he recommended white people. Horace Greeley recommended the name white people in the Free Union, opposed to the old Muhammad religion, Islamism, which was dictatorship, slavery, brutality, and injustice to all red men and women.
Jesus, Bruce Lee Christ.
All members approved of the undertaking Anuit Corpus, or
Anuit Coitus, Islam.
The white woman, quote unquote, right, from the colonies of Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Illinois, with the aid of the priesthood, organized the Society of the Knights of Columbus, Ku Klux Klan. Here, they proclaimed the birth of a new white baby boy by its immaculate virgin mother to become of age for the progress of white people. The famous titles the white woman earned for organizing the Knights of Columbus and Ku Klux Klan order were Mother Superior, Queen Victoria, Sisterhood, Daughters of the American Revolution, of whom had overthrown the Moorish nation, Muslim society of Islamic dictatorship, brutality, and injustice, thereby replaced it with paganism or white supremacy.
Now let's put a pin in that right there real quick. So, and why do y'all want to be Moors, Muslims, when y'all was a dictatorship? That's because motherfuckers went and got corrupt. That's not how it was. They began to dishonor their ancient foremothers and forefathers. Now look at us. We're talking about that was some bullshit. We're saying that don't be those beings. But again, those are the beings, the ones that did the dictatorship, the brutality, and the injustice. Those are the ones that have always been against the prophet. Those are the ones that come and want you to hold flags in the middle of the street and prostrate on prayer rugs. And those are the ones that want you to come and come and call some general consulting some things, when all this has been about is concept correction and concept correction alone, period. That's why when we saw there was something missing as far as the astrology portion, even though all the elders had things in place, you want to know where you get your nationality card, student card, and travel card from? You go to rbbaypublications.com. People come to me sincerely. I sincerely call Mother Roz and be like, hey, look out for X, Y, and Z. Because that's how we do shit. We're not fucking around. And we're not acting like we're somebody who, ooh, look at us. We can call all the elders. And we don't give a shit. The reason why we can do that, I can call the elders because I am one who is straight up with people. Hey, look, this, that, and that, X, Y, and Z. I don't care about your celebrity. I don't care who your son is. I don't care who your daughter is. I don't give a fuck. Period. I don't care because I see what the mission is. I don't have time to kiss your ass, make you feel good. I don't care. I'm not interested. I'm only here to make sure you have what you need, and you're welcome in advance. So we're still giving out your welcome vouchers in advance, and we're still giving out apology vouchers in advance. Because a lot of you say the most stupidest shit out your mouth, and then you go for about 3 moon cycles or so, and you realize, oh my God, now I have to start doing apologetic moves to Brother Hasan and them. But I'm not going to ever really say I'm sorry because, or I apologize because my pride is, way too large and my ego hasn't been deflated. It's okay. We see you though, and we can smell you. All righty. So with that being said, I yield, beloved brother Islam.
On March 20, 1854, justice, truth, and equality for these people, Negroes, died upon the flaming cross of the KFC
Knights of
KKK,
Columbus.
Right? Knights of Columbus, KFC, and KFC. And KKK order of white supremacy, Magna Carta, Emancipation Proclamation Union of 1863, meaning the white people had won their freedom to do what they wished to their Negro property without the federal government of the Great Seal, because the federal government represents free people and cannot protect slaves such as Negroes.
You see why declaring and proclaiming your nationality is important, but no, you want to be in the state. When you say you're in the state, you're saying you're in voluntary servitude. You're a fucking slave. You're in the colony. You're under Christian black codes.
You're in that state. That's like if you're in Morocco and then the French come in and they're like, well, we're gonna call this France now, and then you say, well, I'm in France. You took yourself out of, your foundation. You just abandon your own platform.
Correct.
You should not do. But so the Negroes cannot solve their problems by integration because, and I'm about to yield after this, because people without knowledge of their own history will remain their own slave holder regardless of integration. Plus, the white men cannot afford to teach the so-called Negro the history of the Moorish nation, nor the missing links to the white man's history of the USA.
I think on part 2, what we're going to do is we're going to go in on Big Ben Bay, because that's just one page also. And I think that would be awesome to go in from the Moorish American Institute Circle of Mothers and Sons, which a lot of people are writing books out there that they're not actually writing. They're just doing copy and pasting, and then they're publishing it through people who obviously have a problem with Mother Ras Mariah. And then you guys will see, we'll actually break this down, right? We'll go into this. So I think we will do our Moorish Americans scholars or cry baby believers. We're going to do a part 2 to this, and we're going to go over Big Ben Day. All righty. So let me come here, stop the screen share. Let's do our invocation out. Shout out to the mothers in the chat, Mother Sahar L and Mother Carmisha Bay. We appreciate you as always. We see your comments there. Thank you oh so much. We do appreciate you, mothers. And Mother Carmisha, I'm still waiting on my free shipment supplies to get here so I can send out that literature to you. Put that out there to the public. You know what I'm saying? Let people know, yeah, this is how we do what we do. And at the end of the day, I usually like to get you guys mail or things of that nature out to you very soon and very early. What you say, bro?
I'm gonna yield. I gotta get to traveling now.
Yeah, I already know you gotta do your thing. I'm gonna do the invocation out, bro. You gonna do your thing. Islam, beloved brother. Peace and love.
Happy Holy Venus degree to everybody. Peace and love.
Indeed, peace and love. All right, y'all. We're going to extend the 5 appendages on our left hand, index and middle on the right. We're going to stand on the 45 and repeat after me, either aloud or in your heart. Islam, Islam, Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, noble Drew Ali. Ameen. Thank you all so much. We love you all. Enjoy your studies. Stop being offended. You look stupid. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Don't be an idiot. Islam, Islam, Islam. Peace and